Alrighty, so we've got a third game now from Demiax and Tiny, this time on Ephemeron. And let me just try to... Yep, there we go, best of 3. Oh no, Tiny, you're not up to. Demiax is up to. How do I get Demiax to go up to? Wait, I've got this. Hang on, I almost know what I'm doing. No, you're still Tiny. Oh, cobblers, I don't really know. Oh, there we go. Wait for it. Right, brilliant. So, Demiax has won the series, the best of 3, however. Or, hang on, wait. Maybe they're playing best of 5s. Are they playing best of 5s? Is that what's happening here? Looks like it. Demiax, the Zerg in the bottom right, has again gone pull first, has again got this worker on the other side of the map, is again up in the opponent's base. Are we going to see a hatchery? And if so, will Tiny have figured out what to do about it? Surely you don't just build it there. I mean, that would be really rude. Notice that Tiny's positioned with a pylon over here, and I wonder is that a response to what we said previously, just to give him a little bit of vision of that corner of his base. Demiax goes for the hatchery over here, so it does look like it's going to be a big flood of lings, nice and early. There's nothing in the gas yet though, and there's nothing being built. None of these were larvae being turned into anything, so presumably she was waiting for the pool to finish up to turn them into lings, but you know, no lings being built either, so not entirely sure where Demiax's attention is, but it certainly isn't here. Nothing in production, literally nothing. So over on the Protoss side, we've got the Cybercore coming down, we've got a Forge coming down as well, and you know, given the way the last couple of games have gone, I wouldn't be too surprised to see a pretty defensive play from Tiny, and there's nothing wrong with that. Protoss lends itself pretty well to that sort of style. You know, you get the Forge up, drop a few cannons, and then maybe you go Skybox or whatever, and you just tech up and you defend with cannons, and those cannons will see off an awful lot of stuff. They'll certainly buy you enough time to get an army. Why am I looking at this little guy? He's got nothing to do with anything. Okay, so the first bunch of lings heading across the map now. Let's see what, if anything, they can get done. The Forge is up there. The Zealot is not in a good... Is this Zealot trapped? Oh no, it is. The Zealot's popped out the wrong side here. You do have to be careful with your building placement. You know, Zealots and stuff will come out the front of buildings, so sort of downstream from where a building is. And if you've placed a building in a position like this, that does mean they're likely to pop out here and be absolutely trapped. So you do have to set the rally point to get your Zealots to come out on the right side. That is very unfortunate that this Zealot wasn't able to do anything to help whatsoever. So we saw a reasonable number of units lost. So 5 workers went down for the lings, which isn't bad, but you know, it's certainly, that is not terrible for the Protoss. To get away with only losing those 5 workers isn't too shabby at all. So we've got some gateways building here, and maybe Tiny's thinking, I've had enough of this. I'm just going to throw down loads of gateways, crank out an army, and go march in and dominate. Does he know about this stuff? He must, because he must see the creep over here on the mini-map. So yeah, must be aware that there is a hatchery here, and you can do stuff about that, you know, like not immediately. Well, you do want to focus on making sure that your base is secure. You know, stalkers again against lings. Oh no, don't open the door. What the? No, Tiny, no. What were you thinking? You had a good position there. You don't really want these workers to be attacking. That's a surefire way to lose a lot of workers, and you have lost quite a lot of workers. In terms of worker micro against lings, when you also have units, you know, common things to do are to highlight your workers and just right-click one of your units, and the workers will surround it. The stalker will be shooting the lings, and so the lings will be trying their best to get at the stalkers to kill them, and your workers will simply get in the way. The lings will not attack the workers unless the other player actually micros them to do so. But if your workers are attacking the lings will automatically attack them. So under those circumstances, you want to micro a little bit differently. You don't want to pull the workers and hit attack. You can, with a little bit of management, you can get the lings to ignore the workers, and the workers can just get in the way of the lings. So what we've got building here, we've got zealots coming out, and I much prefer zealots for this. So again, he's let them in, and like, what's going on here? Just plug the gap and keep it plugged. You want these lings over here. You don't want them fighting your workers. You want them here where there's the cannon and where you've got, look, come on, dude. Anyway, the lings get just massive damage this time. A lot of the workers obviously already damaged. I don't know. I don't know. I think to let the lings in once, I'll excuse that. But this is the Veterans League. We shouldn't be seeing lings get in for a second time. You plug the gap. You have the unit on hold. Yeah, maybe you lose that first stalker, but there's two behind it to stay on hold. Just do not let the lings in. Don't be monkeying about here. Even build a pylon or something there. You can always shoot it later if you need to. Just don't let them in. Lings in your mineral line is the last thing you want, and it is exactly what the Zerg wants. So don't allow it to happen. Okay, in Zergland, look, the Hydra Den is done already. The lair is up, so it does look like we're going to see a bunch of Hydras in due course of their 6th building. This queen, I'd like to see the queen be busier. You've got a hatchery on the other side of the map. Get this creep spread right up in the Protos's face, right up to the door. There's nothing more discouraging as a player than when you're playing Protoss or Terran and finding creep spread on your own ramp. It's a horrible, horrible flavour. Tiny, I don't know what you're doing. You're not actually building workers, and you need to, because you've only got 8 of them. So, don't worry about this. You can't afford to be working in rounds of units. So that's not a matter of urgency. Building workers is a matter of urgency. Making sure this front door is no longer vulnerable is a matter of urgency. So, shield battery, maybe even another cannon or something. So that you definitely cannot have another run-in, so that if lings come up again, they don't trade efficiently. So now with these Hydras turning up, there's not that many lings, and the Zealots do extremely well against the lings that are there. But shield battery would just make a huge difference here. I don't know that I want to go down there. I think I want the Hydras to come up to me. Now maybe you can get in their face because they're within range of this cannon. So yeah, this is a good position to fight, but whew, that's ugly, isn't it? That Artosis pylon disappearing means that all of these buildings are no longer powered. Yeah, another thing you might want to do is just build a cannon here to just deny mining, so that these workers either die or they stop mining. Your Zerg is just mining here for free, and yeah, all you need is a cannon there, and it will be picking those off. Anyway, it's hard to see how Tiny is going to get back into this game from this position. Not necessarily impossible, but it's hard to see how. There is a Twilight here, so one of the possible ways to do it would be to drop the Dark Shrine, start mining some gas, and just get some DTs out. You get a DT across the map, you get a DT in here, and by the time the Zerg, who currently has no detection, by the time the Zerg has got detection, all of her workers are dead. So I wouldn't rule the Protoss out just yet. There is a saying in StarCraft 2, the Dark Shrine is the building that you need to be able to produce Dark Templar, and Dark Templar are cloaked units, so they can turn a game around if your opponent isn't expecting them. There is a saying that says when behind Dark Shrine, and there's a reason. It can be effective. It can certainly win you games that you should have lost. Okay, this is a reasonable number of Zealots, but without the charge upgrade and against things like Spine Crawlers, I don't know about this. I think I'd prefer ranged units up here shooting this stuff, because bear in mind, you cannot shoot higher ground here unless you can see it. So at present, the Zerg can't shoot a unit that's up here, but the units up here can certainly shoot the Zerg. So, these Stalkers could be picking stuff off here. They could literally, you could just pick that off from the high ground and it can't shoot you back. You could be picking these workers off from the high ground, and you're not doing any of those things. So, 2 pylons coming down presumably to get you out of a supply block. There we go. Finally, one stalker is just throwing down the odd shot at this, but you know, get involved. Yeah, stuff positioned here so that as things are trying to walk past, they're getting shot is a good plan. A cannon, even, you know, cannon here, cannon here. Let's have this. Let's have it. You can do this. You can do this. Now this is getting towards a reasonable amount of Protoss, but it's lacking upgrades. You know, if we look at the upgrade tab, there is +1 attack, but there is Hydra range is done for the Zerg. I don't know. You need, yeah, you need more. But this Protoss army is getting towards an army that could potentially bust out here. But look, you know, the positioning of the Zerg is not great. You know, the Protoss could actually come down here and expand. And when was the last time the Zerg looked here? Would you know? Would you? You wouldn't know. So now that the Overseer is out, it is giving these units sight up here, and Protoss really has no choice but to come down here and do some shooting. Again, some cannons in situ up in this top ground would have shot the Overseer and denied that sight, and that's what Tiny needs to do now with the Stalkers. You need to move forward and pick off the Overseer, because you've got enough Stalkers that you'll pretty much two-shot that Overseer. So if the Overseer dies, these units don't have sight while the Overseer is alive. They're killing you. And I just, you know, it's so many Hydras. Hydras do so much burst damage. It's nasty. This is a little bit painful to watch, to be honest. So this Protoss army, while it was a reasonably strong army, it's just getting taken apart really. A little bit of GG again. Learn right. Yeah. So you know, there were, you know, mistakes were made. Mistakes were pretty cheesy from Demiax. Pretty cheesy. But anyway, GG.